Cammy. The dive-kicking, spin-knuckling, spiral-arrowing Street Fighter character nobody feels comfortable fighting. And if you're a Dhalsim main, Cammy is a character you're going to find yourself specifically struggling against. High-level Cammys are going to feel almost impossible to beat, but rest assured there are positions and spacings Dhalsim can fight her in, and it's not completely hopeless. At first, it's going to feel like no matter what you do, Cammy just gets in and you can't prevent it. Or you are only delaying that inevitable situation of getting hit one time and you're guessing for your life in the corner. Today I'm going to show you exactly how I approach this matchup, showcasing good and bad rounds, showing how to avoid disaster and ultimately beat the best Cammys in the world. So without further ado, let's get on with the guide. One of the main reasons I see Dhalsims lose to Cammy's Layer 1 flowchart is they try zoning at a distance where Cammy's special moves are in range. They air comet in spin knuckle range and also low float up close, where spin knuckle and spiral arrow both anti-air. I'll show you exactly how to strategize and counter around these specials, but let's start off by countering her from round start. High level Cammy players are actually comfortable at all spacings of the screen. Some like to walk back to full screen and wait to whiff punish a long limb normal. Some like to use her fast walk speed to get into mid-range and force a jump dive kick mix-up. And of course most feel comfortable up close where Cammy really shines. At round start, I'm either going to hold my ground or backdash to make a round start spiral arrow whiff. If I'm going to hold my ground at round start, I actually take a small step back to put myself in a better spacing to anti-air with back heavy punch. Cammys love round start walk forward into dive kick to punish a preemptive normal. Another round starter is spiral arrow. To counter this, you round start backdash and wait for arrow to whiff then punish. If you see her walking back, this is an instant indicator that her mental stack is focused on whiff punishing a limb. An even more obvious indicator is if they are whiffing crouch medium punch full screen. This is an obvious tell that they are buffering into arrow, and at that point you should be completely comfortable zoning with fireballs. To quickly elaborate on this philosophy of feeling comfortable throwing fireballs in this specific instance is to think of it like this. Whiff punishing requires almost all of their mental stack, because they have to hyper focus on your limb whiffing to react in time. So to test their mental stack, whiff a stand light punch full screen and observe if they react with a button. If you see them whiff a button, you are almost guaranteed a safe fireball at that point. Throw a few fireballs until you notice that their brain switches off whiff punishing and start trying to get in range to either spin knuckle or jump over fireball. This is where you can feint fireballs in those ranges she can spin knuckle, spiral arrow, or jump, and utilize backdash to make them whiff and punish them for it. 3 things I want you to avoid entirely at this range are air comet, heavy punch, and low float. Air comet in neutral, especially in mid-range, is suicide. They can easily react with spin knuckle and punish you every time. Heavy punch is also risky as it's easily punished with jump, and even on block you're at pretty bad frame disadvantage. Lowest float height is also bad as it can get clipped by spin knuckle and spiral arrow. If you're going to float, I recommend slightly higher float. An easy way to get the perfect float height is to float cancel from a heavy kick, as it's slightly higher and can bait Cammy into thinking she can knock you out of the air. Okay, now that we understand this foundation of playing around her special moves and mental stack, let's see how this applies to a real match. And it's only right to start with a set I won versus Punk the God, the world's best Cammy, and figure out how I managed to navigate this matchup. So I'd like to start by theorizing that the reason a player like me can actually fight Punk is because I base my entire game plan to avoid ground game. People say Punk's biggest strength is his ground game, and I so happen to completely fight around that as my ground game is very weak. Of course, not saying that you can't beat Cammy with ground game, but I don't have that style unlocked at high level yet. I'd recommend studying an F-Champ or YHC Mochi for a better ground game approach. Now my approach is to annoy the Cammy player with a fast hit and run style, forcing them to chase me and hit them on their way in tangent with OD Arch as my most important lifeline to prevent getting cornered, and regain screen space to repeat the process. Now here's the first match. You can find the full set on YouTube, and I'll have a link in the description along with all replays being reviewed today. Okay, right here I chose to backdash into heavy kick float cancel. This outspaces round start spin knuckle, normal jump, and dive kick, which he did here. Although I recently found it sometimes loses to round start spiral arrow, so I don't use this round starter anymore. So here at this round start, I hit him with the heavy kick, and at this point I didn't know the frame advantage, but I thought I was safe to throw a heavy fireball as a meaty, and I was really surprised when yeah, he was able to spin knuckle through it. At this point I got cornered from round start, which I mean that's fine. It was kind of a weird situation. Right here, since I got the OD fireball, I'm able to side switch. Shimmy. Right here, after level 2, after OD flame, this is a safe jump. You jab into instant teleport light kick. But he level 3'd the fireball. At this point, I wasn't really sure of the Oki he was gonna try, so I just jabbed to probably hit him. He jumped. Anti-air. At that point, it was checkmate. Okay, here's the third match. The second match I lost because I couldn't really get the ball rolling, and it was just kind of Cammy rounds. So let's move on to the third where I won. Here sometimes I drive rush on hit just to catch them off guard, but his take turn was a spiral arrow. So what I noticed Punk was doing a lot in this set was his knockdown pressure was a lot of shimmying and grabbing. So you're gonna see me opt to dive kick a little bit more. See right there, he was walking back to shimmy, so I was a little bit more confident to wake up Mummy. See right there, that was almost a dangerous comet. I was just out of range of the spin knuckle. I started kind of doing Mummy into back teleport because I noticed he wasn't really dealing with it. And I tried to super right there, but he just got chipped. So anytime someone jumps over you and they whiff a cross up, try to be ready to punish with a jab into back medium kick. See like that. See, when you get like a plus fireball, that's when Comet becomes a good option because you have frame advantage. And of course, they try to jump over Comet, you can always heavy kick. Right there, when I float, these are preemptive heavy kicks. It'll kind of hit him on the way in and preemptively hit him on the way when he's like jumping. Right there, I see the heavy kick hit. You can confirm that into medium punch. At this point, I was okay with going this low in drive gauge because it's gonna leave him at this much health, and that's so easy to hit on the way in to kill him. So I was confident. See, and that wasn't reaction. That's just taking care of so many options just to float and heavy kick. So here we have a match between Punk and Mr. Crimson, showcasing exactly what I'm talking about when you notice a Cammy walk back round start, indicating that that's when they're looking for a whiff punish.
He just formulated it so it's like he...
You see that? He's walking back looking for the whiff. That's exactly when you don't whiff a full screen normal.
He probably has the best reactions of all time. That Punk the God guy. It even flustered Mr. Crimson there. Right.
And it all goes down.
Okay, here we go. Cammy does have kind of like a throw loop with that crouching heavy punch.
Oh, big damage here. Goes for the mix-up.
I like that. I like that. Sacrificing little damage to get later.
See, this is what makes the matchup so bad. She gets in once and you're basically dead.
Look at this. A perfect kick.
Okay, here's another example of that. Of Cammy whipping medium punch and walking back to punish normals.
Baseball, they should do it in street
See that? Whiffing, that's buffering.
fighter in fighting games.
And then that walk back, it's just an obvious whiff punish attempt. So you can't be whiffing right there. This is when I take the liberty to fireball.
Right away.
You cannot try.
You basically, if their mental stack is on the limb, that's when you can fireball. Okay, right here you notice my back is to the corner, so I'm looking for opportunities to OD arch to let me escape the corner again. See right there, that's when I find an opportunity. And when it's about to make contact, you can teleport, cross up teleport, kind of do whatever you want. Okay, here we have a match showcasing a lot of the counterplay that I've been explaining. See, I like to micro walk back to create the illusion that she can dive kick me, but that actually puts you in a perfect spot to back heavy punch. And whenever you anti-air, it's usually really good to fireball cancel. So that's a meaty fireball. Right here, after heavy flame, I like to walk back for a shimmy, but she back rolled. So this actually puts you in a perfect position to anti-air again with back heavy punch. Fireball again. See that? The higher float makes the spiral arrow whip. So that was basically a perfect round showcasing all of everything. Heavy kick in the float. Can't hit me from there. Okay, here I'm going to show you a different type of corner escape. Okay, so right here, at this spacing, when they give you space and you're in the corner, I like to heavy kick into float, of course. This means she can't spiral arrow, she can't spin knuckle. And usually, they're gonna kind of hesitate right there, right? Usually they kind of mostly drive rush into cannon spike, DP. As soon as you see that forward movement, you can teleport out. As soon as you see like a drive rush or a spin knuckle, just have to hit her out. So right here, as soon as I saw the forward movement or a drive rush, anything, I'm gonna teleport out. That'll give you a punish and a kill. Alright, so hopefully there was enough pointers in that guide to make the matchup easier. There are so much more little nuances to cover, and I can go on forever reviewing matches, but I don't want to bore you all. So class is over and you're free to go. Thanks for watching, and if this helped in any way, maybe try subscribing to keep up with the next guide coming out soon. This next guide is going to be an important one that's been in the works for over a year. It's titled How to Be 2K MR. I've recently achieved my goal of 2K MR and have been writing down every single lesson I've learned on the way. I'm so excited to show you all what I've learned, so stay tuned for that. Laters.